there everyone, Sari here, and welcome to the first in a bit of an experimental series that I'm hoping to kick off. I've been thinking about doing something like this for quite a while actually. Just a stream on Monday to go over defense replays and chat about what's going on in the game at the moment. And I think I might end up working the offense matches into it as well, just a couple of them every week, since I'm a bit short on time for the coming month, and I might not be able to actually put out the usual offense videos. So I'm hoping this is a fun way to get the best of both worlds and at least share my AR experiences without ignoring them completely. So yeah, let me know what you think about it after the stream or during it if you'd like. I'm going to be paying attention to chat the entire way through, and yeah, if you want to chat about anything in FEH, just let me know and we'll see. I do think the new Book 7 stuff is it's really interesting. There's a lot of stuff going on there, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it. The story seems like it's going to be some very timey-wimey nonsense, so it'll be interesting to see what they do for that. So for AR teams this week, I actually did end up pulling for a duo Lake-Yarn. And partly just because I like Lake-Yarn a lot, and figured, well, may as well. I do think she's actually a lot stronger just after the last couple of weeks in AR than a lot of people might be giving her credit for, especially with a Vantage setup. She can do a lot of work with it, and, well, especially when we're going into a wind month and you can pair her with a legendary Eliwood who's gotten his remix. She can shred through a lot of enemies. Bonus week stats help a lot too. Most of the teams this week actually have her as the bonus unit, since we don't really have an Esther mythic that I can substitute in for scoring. So yeah, she's pretty good. And while I do have a Rory who's accidentally plus 10, I haven't really used him and haven't invested much in him at all, so we'll see what we run into. The defense side is actually holding up pretty well still, which was good to see. There is, I think, one rematch. Let me see, I think it was this one, where they brought 4 different duo harmonic units. Yeah, and then also snipe the hindrance. Oh, no, this one didn't snipe the hindrance. I think that was in the last week. But it's one of those, okay, I see exactly how this played out. I don't even really need to watch it to find that out. We're gonna watch it anyway, just to go through it. But yeah, this one I think I'm going to rematch, because I think they deserve it. 3 different ninja duos and the Harmonic Azura on top of that. It's basically the, oh, so you want extra actions, here's your team. As a team. Just with 2 mythics to at least help with scoring. Yeah, and with that Bolt Tower, there's no way Felix survives this. And with Felix out of the way, well, they just sweep through the rest of the squad. And they take out the Duocorn on our end, and from there that's all of their duo skills unlocked, and it's a very easy sweep from there. Yeah, we can just speed this one up. There's not much else to see in this one. It's just dance, 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 and then self-dance, and do it again. They probably could have ended this in one turn if they'd... Oh, they did. Okay, I was going to say, I wasn't sure if they were out of dances there or not, but they should have been able to finish this one turn after the Bolt Tower landed. Yeah, that's not a loss I'm too worried about. Bolt Towers are always going to be a bit rough for anima seasons, and honestly I think anima seasons are about to get even harder to deal with, with the new mythic coming in. I do think that her skill is a little bit more balanced than I thought it might be at first, since it only hits the front line, and only hitting the front line means that it's a lot easier to block that with someone who has high res, like Gatekeeper, Saros even. And also, if you're using 2 res mythics with Mirabilis and Darvel, it's a lot easier to actually meet that check, since the further away she is from her target, the more res she has to beat that check by. And one of the extra fun parts of that is if you're using her, you can't use Phantom Res on both her and Elamine. So you have to pick one or the other, and it means that whichever one doesn't have that seal becomes a lot less consistent. This one's another clean loss. The Brave Self and Crom Bashbro duo, and another unsniped Bolt Tower to help open the way. They might not have even needed it here. I think Self can... Oh, Crom's just... yeah. Oh. Yeah, especially with the Dragon Slaying from Naga, he's going to carve right through her. And then they can just pull him back out of range and wait the turn out. Or just keep going. I wasn't expecting that. I guess it is a Gale Force team. Yeah, and with Gatekeeper down, they do have a way in. Oh, okay, so then they back out and use the safety fence. Fair enough. And they're out of range, safety fence kicks in, locks us out, and that's all there is to it. I actually really thought this would involve the Bolt Tower, but nope. Turns out Naga boosted Crom is enough to break through Saros on his own. No. I do love Saros, and I'm really glad to have her at +10, but a lot like over in Dark Season with Bremond, it's one of those things when it comes to team building, and I wonder if it's even worth keeping her on the team anymore. Because it might just be better to sacrifice that guaranteed reduction for a more effective team overall. It's something I'm thinking about. I'm not sure I want to shake things up too much yet. These were the only 2 clean losses the defense took all week. And honestly, only losing 2 out of 12 is... those are pretty good overall as results. It's a shame both of them counted, but it's okay. So we're going to start by rematching this one. Let's see what they're using on defense if they're using 4 duos on their offense teams. Okay, they've got Air, Dogger, Edelgard. Okay. I don't think we're too worried about this. Dogger's their 7th unit. Okay, and I don't see a... Wait, you have Sweep, don't you? No, you don't. Yeah, it's just null follow-up that she has. Okay, so... They have nothing that stops me from just Vantage Sweeping this entire team. I can work with this. Yeah, I think what we do here is we just shove Legion in and snipe the Edelgard so she doesn't somehow survive with the defense tile and lots of hit points. And yeah, once she's on the defense tile here and intercepting everything, there shouldn't be anything that survives her. Yeah, this should be a very straightforward match.
Show me your strength.
Part of the fun here too, actually, is that we could, if I want, just go ahead and snipe the Edelgard turn 1. She does. Ah, right, okay, I missed that part. I was going to say, I was positive she does have a sweep, so this might get a little bit trickier then. I don't think it's too bad. She hits for what? Let's see, +7, 13. So she has 76 attack. Thanks for pointing that out, though. I was about to be caught off guard because I'm trying to go too quickly here. I don't think it matters too much. So what I might be able to do is just snipe the Henriette this turn, and then snipe Niffle and move into place for the following turn. Let me see. We've got -6s, so we don't want to be over here with Legion. The other question is whether or not she even does damage to Legion. I think she might, the Luna would hit on the second swing if Mirabilis dances her, and she would dance eventually. Unless we just don't attack anything. If we don't attack anything, I'm counting on her to punch through Edelgard, and with the defense tile, Edelgard's going to be a bit tricky. We may have locked in the team a little too early here. Yep, speed sweep. She's never beating that. Oh, wait, I'm overthinking this completely. What am I doing? We don't even have to worry about it as long as we take out Henriette and Edelgard. Because Henriette's going to have to go first. All we have to do is... Oh wait, no, because Henriette's there. So we'd have to take Edelgard out in melee, and that doesn't work. Except it kinda does. All we have to do is make sure that if Leigern's here and solo, she can kill Edelgard on the defense tile, which is unlikely. Okay. I went a little too quickly, I think. Yeah. We're going to need to take care of the Sniffle then. I think that's doable. I do. If I take out Henriette here, just by attacking onto Edelgard this turn, and back out of the way, ideally we get them both. I do have a dance that can probably help with that. Let's see, if Thor repos you up, you should be able to demolish her, special fighter or not. This is 713. So she has 64 defense, and you're getting plus 16, I think it was? Yeah. So 80, another 92, 99, so that's 48 minus, or sorry, 42, 45, 29, ouch, okay. Not quite, unless we get a little bit more in there. We do have the Brazen, which, once that comes online... Okay, so she should actually be able to then. Especially if I make sure that she has the auto follow-up, because she'll have more speed. Okay. So, just need to figure out movement. What I'm thinking is if I get... Yeah, if I smite Thor over to get in there, she'll be able to reach, and Naga can smite forwards here, so we're in range. And then Bernie can also reciprocal aid. Eventually. Yeah, you have that. Oh, if Bernie reciprocals here... Yeah. I might not actually be able to get Thor in there to help. If we're getting that reciprocal. I don't like that. Let's see. Bernie's here. Reciprocal this way, we can smite you up. Thor can break this and just move into position, and we can smite Plumeria here to dance Leigern. Because if we dance Leigern and get her out... Let me think. Now this would be in range, wouldn't it? Oh. Nah. This Henriette's being quite a nuisance. I don't like it. I really locked that in too quickly. I should have listened to myself and remembered this is a sweep. Okay. So we smite you up. Thor can break this and just move here. You can get in there with a smite, and that lets you dance Leigern. The problem is getting out, because Edelgard will have 2 movement at that point. Wow. Usually I'm a lot better about planning ahead for these. I think I just went too fast. Let me think. So, what we could actually do is just not worry too much about it, and get into vantage range and bait out the dogger and the air. Neither of them are going to survive. Even with the defense tile, Air is not surviving one hit from Lakearn, and, well, this is full advantage, so they both end up dying. And the dance here is being used by marbles on Dogger. So if we just plonk here, I think we're okay. You never get to reach us. You never get to reach us. And we'll deal with Henriette and everything else on the following turn. I'd like to get rid of Henriette first, honestly. It would help a lot. Oh, well, what I could do is just... Okay, so what I think I'm going to do here, then, is just not worry about moving out. We just smite forward, get here, get set up, and dance to finish off Edelgard after the Henriette's down. Yeah. Okay, so like this, then. We will reciprocal down here. You're going to smite her forwards. You're going to break this and canto to the left. We smite you over, and you can jump to dance. Okay. This'll work, I hope. I didn't actually do too much of a math calculation, but Henriette should not survive, since even though she's neutralizing Lakearn's bonuses and takes 12 attack off, she's still getting 16 attack from Thor being next to her. So, if this ends up going tragically, well...
From darkness into
oh, okay, so we don't even need it. Very nice. I might actually want to take this as is, and make sure we get the Deadeye on Edelgard. No, because Henriette doesn't have guard, right? That's just healing, so that's fine.
Sure.
Yep, and from here, you can reach, and you'll go before Dogger because he loses health, but you can't reach until Dogger moves forward. Wait, I'm forgetting something important here, aren't I? And the important thing I'm forgetting is that Nifl's going to move because there's no dance involved. Well, I guess we just see if you can take a couple of hits, because even though she'll move here and get danced, she can only attack Lakearn, and she'll have 63 plus 5, right? No, 68 attack, plus another 13, that's 81.
From darkness into
you do
darkness.
have a lot of res. Yep, you've got 62 res just on your own, and the defenses you get are basically on par. I think you survive. Let's go for it. We've committed anyway at this point. Oh wait, I'm forgetting that we're also opening this path up for her to... Oh, jeez, I'm so bad at this. Okay, how can I fix this? How can I fix it? Wow. What an absolute train wreck of a starting AR match for the day. Apparently, I'm just not thinking straight. Yeah, because if she moves here, gets danced, and she would get danced because of that. Unless... Huh. No, because then we just get attacked twice. And I'm pretty sure the Luna would finish her off. Hey there, Monty, welcome to the stream. And a bit of a let's try to salvage a train wreck of terrible decisions for this AR match. Okay, so I think what I'm going to have to try to do is let Lakearn just tank this on a defense tile. I don't know if it's going to work, honestly. I think it might not, but the defense tile means you should only do damage with Luna, and I'm hoping that that's good enough. So if I move Thor here, that lets me get Plumeria over beside her to dance here. So yeah, we take out Henriette, then we dance, we take out Edelgard from here. and then we just see. Basically, it comes down to whether or not Nifl gets to kill Leikern with the Luna. If she does, then, well, that's unfortunate. If she doesn't, then we're fine, because nothing else can actually get down here. You don't have that guidance, yeah. Okay, so I didn't do the math on this, and I really regret it. But we're going to go for this, and hopefully it works out.
What's your plan?
Sure.
Ooh, that's okay, we still charge it up.
From the shadows.
Oh, all of that, and I forget that we actually do have a Kanto available. I can get out here. Do we want to, is the question. Oh, okay, and here's another fun thought, is that Dogger's their only duo. If I snipe her now that Henriette's out of the way, so if we wait here and have Plumeria dance, Leikern can move up here, snipe Dogger, and self-dance to get all the way back out here, and then we can figure things out for the following turn. I don't like using duo skills much, it feels a lot like cheating, but you know what, I think considering what they did to my defense, that it's completely justified. Yeah, there aren't any other duos. This is Ascended, Summer. Yeah, okay. Let's do that.
Why not?
I should make sure that...
Staying quiet.
Yeah, okay, the Edelgard is very dead, no matter what.
I believe in you.
Your life?
Is ours to take.
And then... Duo skill.
Sure.
I win button. And we quad the Edelgard down. And we should all be out of range. There's no Dogger extending ranges, we're more than 3 spaces away. Yep, just barely. Excellent. No fun allowed. Still do need to figure out how we want to handle this part. This Nifl is still a problem, and I'm pretty sure this is the real trap. Oh, what I could just do is have Thor break this catapult and test this. I do need to make sure that we leave somebody alive for the following turn. But that shouldn't be too hard. Oh, actually, I think I have a better idea. Let's see if I can make it work. If I can just snipe Nifl from here instead, then we're in a much better spot. Trick is getting her there without losing a turn to the heavy trap. Assuming it's real. It may be. Yeah, because air just gets turbo wrecked, and... yeah, and Ceros can't actually catch us, she just ends up here after getting danced. Yeah, running into the sweep. Honestly, thank you Brainspark for pointing that out, because we would have had a potentially disastrous match here without that. I'm thinking about it, that I'm just mostly trying to figure out how we get there. So, I could have Bernie break this, which lets Eliwood break one as well. Or we could have Thor break it, move here and get smited to test. But then we have a problem of how do we get Leikern over there. I'm pretty sure this is fake and this one's real, since they don't want anyone attacking Henriette in melee. And we don't want to end the turn here. The match ends before we pick up both of these ether pots, which is less than ideal. So if I'm really confident that this is fake, what I could do is just have
From
Thor
darkness
reposition
into
Legion and
darkness.
test this trap, and then we know which one is real, no matter what. It doesn't really help us much if that one on the right is real, though. So Niffle moves first here, yeah? Okay. Funnily enough, this would actually be one of those maps that would absolutely hate seeing Seether. Once we get her tomorrow, I think, is when the banner shows up. Seether's going to make Anima very interesting, and honestly, I'm not too sure how well anyone's defenses are going to hold up, unless you're running both Mirabilis and Arvel right now. I might need to adapt mine a bit to include Arvel, just to try and salvage things. The other problem I'm having here is that I can't really smite Legion over here easily. Oh, but okay. Let me think about this. If I was to...
It will be done.
If we kill Niffle from this tile and then Kanto back down, that's not bad. As long as... Yeah, as long as Thor ends up down here, she's safe from air, and then we also get to bait Mirabilis. So it's all about breaking this and making sure that Thor ends up back on this tile. Of course, what we can also do... Okay, so if I just move here, break this, and have her Kanto down, we're pretty much fine. If it's the real trap, then we can snipe Niffle from here. Although, getting there might be tricky. I think we go for this and just see what happens. We still have a dance to salvage things if needed, but... Yeah, so we go here, and then I just move Legion here, dance her, break you. Wait, no, that doesn't give us enough room. Thor would actually have to stay right where she is. Or over here, instead. Huh. Okay. And I can't get either of my smites up here to help with Legion. This is just a really awkward spot. Yeah, that's true. Hit and run is definitely an option. It just makes reaching these ether pots a little bit trickier before the end of the match. Yep, because, let's see, you can reach here, 2, 3. So as long as we get out of this range, we're safe. Cirrus would end up here. Yeah, you know what, that might just be the right way to do it.
Staying quiet.
I think we break this, get back here, dance, and yeah, we just, yeah.
Sure.
We'll break one ether pot and back up.
I'll do it.
There's no reason to stretch this out like I am.
Festival. I can do it.
So
Maybe.
she ends up here, 1, 2, 3. So Thor needs a little bit of help getting out. Yeah, because this is a threatened tile right on this diagonal.
All right.
So, if I
By your will.
actually flip Bernie, she's still safe, and Thor can back up to here,
From darkness
and reposition
into
Primaria
darkness.
down, and
My
then we're
turn?
fine. Okay. Yeah, this ether pot in the top right is going to be annoying to reach. But shouldn't be too bad. We should be able to bait everything else out here.
Staying quiet.
Yeah, and not kill Saros.
I believe in you.
You've underestimated us.
We just park right here. No rallies. Air is never surviving even if she has a defense tile to work with. And we'll just have Bernie start working her way over here.
Will submit.
Close your eyes. I can do it. Maybe.
Yep, this is safe.
What is your desire?
Let's see
And
now.
we'll get Elliot over here
It
too.
will be done.
Miracle or not, she's not surviving the second hit.
You've underestimated us.
Yeah, the Book 7 villain, I'm looking forward to her. The UOC's design as a whole is a little bit fanservice-y, but I really love the Medusa theme, so it'll be fun.
What's your plan?
Hollywood breaks this, Bernie breaks this,
Sure.
and Lygaron closes it out.
From
Alright,
the shadows.
that was a little bit sillier than it should have been, honestly.
You've underestimated us.
There's no reason for that to take as long as it did. Still, pretty clean in the end. I will take it, and move on to the next. This one, this other match, I'm gonna leave them alone. That was a fun one. We're just going to queue up and see what we run into. 39 with a Brave Edelgard, you say? Okay. Ooh, Larashal. Okay. Larashal would make things a little bit tricky. There's also a return trap going on here. That's fun. Seafeud Larashal. That's a fun forma, actually. That's cool. Okay. Plus 4 Adel. I might not want to try Vantage Sweeping this. Adel is... It is a fully defensive Adel, so her attacking into Lygaron isn't that big a deal. But I'm not sure about it. Especially since I do think she applies guard if she moves. Yeah, as long as someone moves, there's a guard effect. Which could make things tricky. Now granted, if we just attack into her, that's 2 Deadeyes that she ends up eating, and that's a lot. Marvel's fun. This is a very extended Wings of Mercy chain. They're really counting on Air surviving whatever she attacks into, and then just enabling everybody else to pile in. Which feels like it does punish a save ball really, really well, since there aren't many save units that can actually outspeed Air and take her down. But they might want to give her a lull for speed, just to help make sure of that. So which team do we want to use for this? They only have near save, right? No, only near save. I do have the Sladleguard Gale Force nonsense if we want to go for that, but no. So, if I am reading this right, I can't believe they gave they gave this Mirabilis an arcane weapon. It's fun to see. I think they might end up regretting that in the long run, but maybe they just got a lot of leaves and weren't sure what to do with all the swords. Yeah, so I think what happens here is Air gets danced to start, and then Larashal flips her forwards to try and intercept everything, or get into everything. Now, the funny part about this is that if we plonk Lagarn right here, Larashal can't actually reach her. She ends up being forced to heal air, which also stops Edelgard from attacking into Lagarn. I think that works. There's no Hardy Bearing built into you, or you. It's just damage reduction, and honestly, even Triangle Adept and damage reduction on the first hit is not saving Bernadetta. Arvel also just gets wrecked. He doesn't have enough. They don't have enough defense to survive. I think this works. How wild! 1, 2, 3, 4. So we do get hit with these debuffs. The attack and defense ones, but I don't think it matters. I think this works. Let's give it a shot. Honestly, Vintage Lagarn has just been really funny to see in action. Yep, and that's what I'm remembering, is that this only goes to 5 spaces. So if we're... oh wait, that does actually mess with it a little bit. So I do need to keep out of this range, otherwise we can't counterattack at all, which is bad. But what we could do is actually just filter up into this side of things. Yeah, it does get very cramped. But this side of things is actually pretty safe. So if what I do, let's see, is just stay in this area, I probably can't get out of where Lagarn is standing right now, thinking about it. If I move past this, then air is going to attack into somebody other than Lagarn, since we don't have a way to stop her from just running past, while also making sure Lagarn can counterattack. Alright, I can work with that. So I'm going to want to break these two, make sure that we have some space to work with for the following turns. But I think that we should be okay. Once Larashal is down here, she's going to be very easy to snipe, and we can basically just block off everything else that comes in. There's a chance that Edelgard actually ends up going this way. We'll see. So let's start by getting this reciprocal in. Make sure that's ready to go. Oh, we don't even have to wait for it. So, hold on. Forgot, the safety fence doesn't actually reach over to this tile. So if we just bait air immediately, we should be pretty much okay. Yeah, that's definitely how we want to do this. So we want to make sure that... yeah, so we reciprocal here, Naga's going to move down as Heil. Thor's going to reposition Bernie out of the way. Wait, no, we dance Bernie. Bernie moves here. Okay, it gets a little bit cramped. I think it's fine. If we dance Bernie, Bernie gets down here, Eliud can break this and Kanto forward, and then Thor repositions Plumeria and moves over here to support Lagarn. Alright. So reciprocal.
Maybe.
Yes.
You move over.
Why not?
Dance Bernie. Bernie is moving out of the way.
My turn?
Eliud breaks this, moves up a tile.
By your will.
We flip you, Kanto over.
From
You
darkness
are going
into
to break
darkness.
this and move back into place. This is only going to kill air, but I think that's okay. I don't mind it. Oh, she didn't get healed. Oh, that's right. I think there's a health threshold for return to actually work. It's okay. It just means that La Rochelle gets stuck all the way in the back and makes it a lot easier for us to break through everything else on this map. So ideally, we get these 3 this turn. That shouldn't be too hard, I think. If I, let's see. Yeah, we can't stand here in these spaces, which is unfortunate. Happy is a little bit annoying. She's going the wrong way. And if we open up this flyer school, then suddenly these tiles are not safe. Hey there, Shadow. Welcome to the stream. Let's see, who's still damaged? It's only Bernie. So that means La Rochelle is not going to heal this turn, as long as we're baiting Bernie out. And it also means that you move first. So, I wonder, I think she's just going to chase down this way after Earlywood. Yeah, actually, I'm kind of looking forward to it. It looks like they're doing some fun stuff. The new characters look interesting. The new mythic we're getting is going to be very interesting for anime seasons. I don't know how much of an impact she's going to have, though, compared to something like Embla over in Dark Weeks. Mostly because she only hits one person, and that is something that you can intercept with a 7th unit who doesn't care anyway, or anybody else on the team who has high res. So, if I was to break this, like, that's tricky. So, if we manage to break this with Leghorn, she has to get that gravity off, though, to do that. I was thinking, if I can get Leghorn here and Thor down here, then we'd be alright. The trick is getting there. Yeah, that tactic room is going to be a nuisance. I can get that gravity off of her just by having her wait in place and get Plumeria to dance, but still could be tricky. Yeah, and you'll move probably to here, because I'm pretty sure she's chasing Earlywood. He has 20 res. Which is fine. So she'll go here, and Ada will also move 3 spaces this way. So we basically need to just sort of run counterclockwise around the map at the moment. I think, honestly, I'm just going to move here. But I can't actually break that, otherwise Happy's going to be able to reach this tile. I wonder if I can make that work. Because if Happy can get in here, that's not terrible, as long as I don't have someone in this tile. And getting her and these 2 would be really, really helpful. I'm not too worried about the La Rochelle. I don't think she can actually do damage to Leghorn. Let's see. So, if I wait in place and have Plumeria dance, we can break this and Kanto back to here. From there, I just need to make sure that we get Plumeria back out of this spot, which is doable. I can just have Thor reposition her back out and move up a tile. Oh, okay, well then that's actually very easy.
From darkness into darkness.
I'll do it.
And then on top of that, we can smite Thor into the safe corner over here, so she's not getting attacked by Happy.
Staying quiet.
I seek a foe.
Oh, wait a minute. That's not ideal. I thought... Oh no, she had... Oh, that's right, the flyer school. Oh, that's, That could be really bad. Bernie goes first and gets dead-eyed. I'm not worried about you. Arvel I am a little worried about. Shoot. Oh shoot, I really wasn't thinking about the flyer school. Well, it's a little unfortunate. Yeah, there's no way for us to fix this either. If I smite... Oh wait, if I smite Thor over this way, I can smite Eliwood over this way. And Naga at least gives her a little bit of bonuses to work with. I mean, Arvel has those on his own too, so... I think that works though. I was really counting on that Kanto over this side. Okay. Yeah, if we smite Thor here, that gets her out of the way, at least for the flyer school next turn. And we can keep everybody out of range of everything. Like that. Okay. Let's hope this works. Yeah, Bernie moves in first, gets dead-eyed. Would have died regardless, so Arvel's the only one I'm looking at and worrying about a little bit. Without Thor helping. Oh, never mind. She's fine. And another big rip for Happy, who has no defense and no hardy bearing. Okay. Oh, perfect. So Edelgard's just going to be chasing us around the map on this side, and we can clean everything up here.
My turn?
So the trick is going to be Larachal still, since this X-Trap feels like it's probably real. And we don't have enough health for Leghorn to test that. But you know who does have enough health to test it is Eliwood. Now how would we get him over there? He can get there by dancing, but cantoing back over might not be easy. Okay, so if I was to move Eliwood here and dance him, he can get onto this tile. He doesn't want to attack into this Mirabilis. I actually think he might lose that fight. Arcane Weapon Mirabilis is not a joke. I'm just looking at it and thinking, huh, she can actually be a bit tricky for a non-carry to deal with, or tank. I think making her less tankable is the major point of giving her this weapon. I could also just ignore Larachal. I don't think she's actually able to do damage here. That's what, 51? Okay, so 6 attack, 9 or 6, 13, 16 attack that she gets there, so 64.
Sure.
Oh, no, Leghorn doesn't care at all. She might take 2 hits for, let's see, what would that be? She has 62, which goes back down to 56, and then whatever she gets from... Oh, it's back up to 62. Yeah, she's not going to care. Okay.
From darkness into darkness.
Go ahead and do this. Oh, and I'm actually completely forgetting that we can just test this trap right away, thanks to Kanto. And it's real. As expected.
Let's see now.
Yeah, we're just going to open things up a little bit. Eliwood, you stay put right here.
By your will.
Or you're going to flip Plumeria that way.
Close
We're
your
going to
eyes.
dance Leghorn
Staying
and
quiet.
take out the spooky scary Larachal.
From the shadows.
There's some fun stuff to navigate on these.
I can
Part
do
of it's just me going quickly, but
Yes.
it's good to see some inventive maps. It's been a long time since I've seen a return trap. Okay, and we still have a few turns to get Edelgard over this way. Who's she going to chase? Probably
will be
you,
done.
Naga.
From darkness into darkness.
Well, actually, probably Bernie.
All right. Sure.
Okay, so the other one's real.
Why not? Staying quiet.
We'll just grab that.
I will submit. My turn?
Go ahead and smite Thor up there.
What is your desire?
Oh, and get this tested too, so we can stand on it next turn. Yep, still chasing that way. That's fine.
From darkness.
So
into
we found
darkness.
both real traps, and that means that nothing else is real. Don't have to worry about it.
I seek
Ooh,
a
actually,
foe.
yeah, if Thor just breaks this,
Sure.
and we have Lager'n get right
Staying
here,
quiet.
we
Close
can
your
just dance her.
eyes.
And I
From
think this
darkness
kills the
into
Edelgard.
darkness.
I believe in you.
The quads and Deadeyes are a little much.
Your life?
Is ours to take.
Good stuff. Alright. And that should be another top 1000 finish pretty easily, I think. We only lost 2 matches that counted, and, well, 2 matches that would have lost us lift too, so... Definitely 39, yeah. Not bad. Not bad. Not a rank 1 finish, but... Oh, looks like we're having a little bit of problems with this. Hang on. And we're back. There we go. Sorry, I didn't see that cut out, but I think it was... I'm hoping it was just for maybe Edelgard dying or right after that. Yeah, we should be back. There we go. Sorry about that. BlueStacks does not agree with OBS too much, and I think I've got a handle on how to fix it, but it's still annoying when it happens. So, now that we're done with the offense matches, let's go browsing through the rest of these. I haven't actually looked at all of these, but outside of these two, it is good to see the defense holding up pretty well in this season. Now, that's probably going to change in the new book. Corrin specifically is very vulnerable in her current spot to getting hit by that new mythic. And yeah, she is never going to have the res necessary to actually beat that check. So, let's see. This one was First Save, Deflect, Idun. Your bonus we call Tina, Lethality Yuri, who's quite spooky, and a near save Rhea. So, just a basic save ball. I'm probably going to Spark on it. I want to get... Well, I think I'm mostly interested in getting the Rearmed Ophelia, and that's mostly for having... Oh, sorry, hang on a moment. This was funny, though. They have a pretty solid save ball here, and I think they were planning to just have Yuri move in and take a shot at Felix and whittle him down. And maybe didn't see the Kanto control on Gatekeeper, and there's actually no way they can get... Well, they might have been able to get Idun in there to save him, but it's definitely not the start they wanted, so very quick surrender there. So, pulling on the new banner, I think I will. I'm tempted to. I don't know if I'm actually going to want to merge the new mythic up, which is the real draw of the banner to me. I do think she's going to be very useful and enable all kinds of crazy nonsense, but I'm not sure if I'm going to want to merge her up. Yeah, it happens. Oh, this is an impressive Marth. Speed Smoke, Distance Dance, and Bonus Doubler. Yeah, he's pretty solid there. And of course, Brave Dimitri over here. The non-save Edelgard, and a Claude. So they just have 4 different carries on this team, which... I don't know, I don't think it usually works out too well if you have too many of them, since it gives you more... It does give you more options for taking fights, but it means that you're taking those fights at a lower power level than if you were giving them support. Now, with that said, Martha has no problems moving in and just wiping out Ceres. She is a dragon, and, well, that is what Marth do. He kills dragons. Oh, okay, so here they have a problem. And their problem is that they didn't leave anybody within 2 spaces of Marth. And if they don't have anyone within 2 spaces of Marth, this half of his weapon goes offline. So he doesn't have any unity on, and his bonus doubler effect is also off because he's getting panicked. So he's just... Oh, this is not a good spot for him. He's very dead.
Forgive me, friends.
We don't catch up to the rest of their team, and I think we saw more knockouts. Yeah, so they keep going. Yep. Bolt Tower means Lycaon goes down there pretty easily. That, though, is a heavy trap. You roll the dice on a 50-50, it's not always going to work out for you. And Corin, well, yeah, that is a lot of damage landing on Needleguard. Yeah, and, well, goodbye, Claude. This is just Corin doing Corin things.
But it's up to you now.
I don't think I've done a defense replay thing since I gave her the ARD attack speed. I actually had a Niffle pity break me at some point after the Hero Fest and decided that that would be a good home for it.
Not good enough.
It's very amusing to watch Gatekeeper actually survive a Brave Dimitri. He's a lot bulkier than I think people give him credit for, especially, well, especially when you've put as much investment into him as I have. I'm very proud of him. He's a great boy. Oh, and they brought their own Gatekeeper on this team, along with Fjorm for far save, some hit and run with Yuri. Oh, that is an absolute base kit Yuri. Oh, I don't know how much he gets done. He's still very good for navigating the map, but I imagine what they do with this is mostly just try to let Fjorm carry with Gatekeeper and Elamine support. And some hit and run with Reagan on the side. Yeah, unfortunately for Fjorm though, I've seen this play out in a lot of my replays, and it has not ended well for any of the Fjorms I've seen. Yep. It's either that or he had enough... Well, actually no, because Dimitri should outspeed him pretty easily, so yeah, he didn't have enough defense to get that guaranteed follow-up. Which is wild.
I will burn my regrets.
I'm actually really looking forward to seeing what Gatekeeper gets as a refine. It's one of the trends in the CYL refines is that the unit with the most lukewarm response and reception tends to get a really heavy power spike, like Brave Dimitri from this last one, and Brave Ulm from the one before that. Like, those are pretty consistent trends in the CYL refines, so Gatekeeper definitely got the short end of the stick when it comes to his weapon. Oh jeez. Just nope. The Gatekeeper roars. So it'll be very interesting to see what he ends up getting for his refine. Yeah, Gatekeeper's not surviving this, I'm sorry. It's not ending well for him.
They found an opening.
Sorry, Gatekeeper. Only one can survive. Yeah, and well, from there it's just Sarah's carving through Yuri.
Must be purified. Just my luck.
And yeah, there's really not much left for them here. Oh yeah, honestly, Special Spiral 4 is a very, very strong skill. And Interestingly, I have a lot of fun candidates for it, and one of them is Celsius. I do think having a spammable Special Spiral Black Luna that you cannot mitigate with damage reduction would be horrifying, and I would love to see it in action. So that was... wait, which one were we on? I think we were on 4. Yeah, we were on 4. I don't know that I would give it to Zelgios right away. I think there are definitely better candidates for that fodder, but it would be a funny option. Another Brave Dimitri, with some Legendary Lilina for nukes and hit and run. Vantage option with Byleth and Tiki. So another one with 4 carries. Yeah, let's see how you handle this indeed. That's honestly one of the things that really interferes with Black Luna is damage reduction. So being able to just take that off the board suddenly makes Black Luna very, very lethal. Again, I'm not sure I would give it to him right away, because I do think we're going to see an Ascended Zelgius or Rearmed Zelgius or something at some point, or even Legendary, and he would definitely be a good candidate for getting an updated special. And yeah, Dimitri's strong, but he's not that strong. We already went over these two, so we're going to skip ahead to 7. Ooh. This one's Near Save Robin, with Distant Counter Tiki, the bonus doubler from Astrid. Okay. Okay. So Tiki to handle the ranged. That's an interesting choice. I do think... I think a lot of people sleep on how good Tiki is. She's very, very good within the right spots, without being as oppressive as someone like... well, any of the hyper-oppressive meta units. And I think that's okay, honestly. I don't think she's the strongest CYL unit of the batch. I think that actually goes to Byleth, with Seliph being a very close second. Yep, that rally forward. We don't have to attack the Tiki, we can just go after her friend instead.
Impossible.
I'm still a little bit sad that they decided to release a rearmed Ascended Young Tiki within a month or 2 months of CYL. That was just very unfortunate.
Disgrace leaves a brand.
Also great to see Lakearn just being able to punch through that. Lakearn, I've honestly loved having her on the defense. She takes so many people off guard because I don't think people see her very often. So it's easy to underestimate just how much she can do, since you're just not used to dealing with her. Oh, this one. This one I did see, and I actually posted this on the Discord because this Roy, this bonus week maxed out godlike reflexes finish Roy is... yeah, this is a Roy. This is a Roy. The username is also perfect. They've also got Robin here, which I don't know why they actually put Robin on this team. I can't see this Roy having issues with too much in melee, and anything that he has trouble with in melee, she's not going to help with. Legendary Edelgard. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what they do for Edelgard's remix. She needs it, honestly. It's, Aimer is not aged well. Raging Storm is fine, actually, which is going to make it very interesting when she gets a version 2 of this. But her weapon needs a refine. Some merges on the Mythics. Yeah, this is the Roy that just woke up and chose violence. He doesn't actually have a full charge on this, which is kind of important, but doesn't end up mattering here, since even with godlike reflexes, Leigern actually outspeeds Roy, so he wouldn't have gotten to use it anyway. And, well, Roy's down, so from there it's just easy enough to start picking things off.
Impossible.
So here was actually where I started seeing some fun stuff. Edelgard goes after Ceros here and, well, A, can't actually break through Ceros, but the funny part about this was that the reason they had her go after Ceros is because she can't actually one-shot Corrin. She has 87 attack effectively with Aimer, and Corrin's over here with 89 effective hit points. So she misses the knockout by 2 attack. And that's why they couldn't actually just go after Corrin and secure that one shot. Ceros does eventually go down here, but she does a pretty good job of intercepting. And, I mean, we've already gotten 2 knockouts, so that's a win in my book. Regan can move in and take Corrin down. The triangle advantage does some work. Bye, Ashura.
My end?
I'm really hoping that I find a better seal to give to Leigern at some point. As much as Fury works really well, I don't like that recoil. It makes it a little too easy to soften her up. And there are better options than +3 to all stats with recoil attached. We just have to get there. I don't think they were expecting to have problems from here, with Leigern and Corrin both out of the picture, but Mira actually does quite a bit of damage to Edelgard. And Gatekeeper's over here not caring about that counterattack. Not at all. And then Felix can actually finish the job,
You must lead the
even with
others.
this fully defensive build. That's good stuff.
Yeah. Need a nap.
Honestly, Mirabilis came very close to one-shotting Regan here, which was funny to see. But I think the funniest part of this came right at the end here. Yep. Gatekeeper moves in, finishes Regan off,
Stop right there!
Not good enough.
and then goes in and takes on Altina.
Ah!
Survives the Twin Blades on the counterattack,
Yeah! Grant me strength!
and then takes her out with the bonfire.
No. But how?
Altina's another one that I'm really looking forward to the remix for. She should be getting one next month, I think, in January. Ooh, okay, this one I haven't seen. Young Ike, who I haven't seen as much. He was really showing up a lot right around his release, but he's fallen off a lot. Also New Year Fafnir. An Armor Smasher Altina, okay. Fair enough. It does give her a much higher health check for these skills, which I do like. This is actually a very cool Altina build. Got your Elmine and your Ashra. Lots of chills. Yeah, so it's just Ike being the solo carry with a lot of debuff support. And Elmine, of course. I don't think it's ending well here, yeah. Legion's like, well, you have a recharge, but you don't have null guard, and that means no
Protect
ether
my
for you.
friends. We need to protect Mist.
Legion just, she's done a lot of work on this defense.
I go to
And
God.
yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing how well she does going forward. She might end up getting eclipsed eventually. Her weapon is mostly just flow and stats, but that stat swing is very big. There we go. Number 10. We actually ended up getting 12 replays this week, which that's a lot. Duo Alphons. Oh wow. Okay. So a duo Alphons. Yeah, he's got stats. He's also going to be getting a refine in the next month or two. It's going to be very interesting to see what he gets. His weapon is right now just slaying and stats, which is a great core to build off of because it can go anywhere from there. I still haven't actually pulled an Alphonse myself. He's not someone that I was too keen on, even back when he released, but he was always a strong unit, just not someone I was too interested in using myself. I do like pairing him with Valoria here, since she removes the need to worry about a duo's hindrance and lets him pre-charge his special right away, which puts his weapon online. Got that. Oh, that's a +10 Naga too. Distant counter and dive bomb seems a little bit disjointed, but sure, I guess. Very random base kit Xander. And Altina. So, there's a problem here that I'm seeing already, and I'm wondering if... Yeah, they didn't spot it, did they? No, they didn't look at the skills. And the problem here is actually Ninian. With her Odd Pulse tie and more health than Alphonse, which means he doesn't get to keep this. And yeah, that's not so good for him. Without that special charged, there's really not much he can do. If you mean in Summoner Duels, Kruz, I haven't really played around with them very much. And at least for this stream, I'm planning to keep it focused on AR. After this, I'm going to tinker around with some experimental thoughts for Dark Week, since we did just get a new Dark Mythic who's pretty wild. And I'm curious to see what kind of options that opens up. I could see myself digging into some viewer matches, though, at some point. Probably just not today, like I said. And I'd probably want to at least put together a team for it and figure some stuff out, because it's not a mode that I have paid very much attention to after the first couple of weeks it was out. Especially once we started getting into the ranked modes. And it's really sad because I genuinely loved the basic version of Summoner's Duels when it was just a more casual experience. I don't know that the ranked version works as well in a game like FEH, where unless you're pulling on every banner and merging on every banner, it's very hard to keep up with the meta. Welcome back, Pumpkin. Yeah, if you're talking about the wedding Shauna, yes, Shauna's a menace. And honestly always has been. Oh, right, this one. This one kind of weirded me out, since they do have a Ninja Lin and get to snipe our hindrance for free on the first turn, and have a Bolt Tower at 50 to hit Felix with, so... Yeah, I wasn't really sure how they ended up losing too many units. I don't think I ended up watching... Oh, wow. Yeah, I definitely didn't watch through this one. That is a very impressive Sophia. Jeez. Yeah. Honestly, I love seeing units like this that people have just committed to, and yeah, it's really cool to see that. Also going to be really interesting now that we can trade or share our units, as long as, well, to anybody who's willing to buy the new packs for Binding Worlds. I am really looking forward to being able to take advantage of that myself. And I think actually a lot of my hype for it comes from not needing to, or getting an immediate cap, rather, on the dragon flowers of whoever you end up getting in there. Which is huge. That can save you like 3,000 dragon flowers pretty easily.
No, but how?
And that value is only going to go up as time goes on. Now, if I remember correctly, they do limit you to using it once per round of Binding Worlds, so you can't just stockpile the items and use them all at once later on.
What a treat.
And we only get up to Book 4 for those. But there are a lot of units in Book 4 that are, or Book 4 and earlier, who are well worth checking out with it. Personally, I'm looking at OG Byleth and Brave Dimitri. Oh wow. Now that is a scary Katria cruise.
Go for it.
I didn't actually go too deep for her. I've been pretty happy just having the one, and I think I ended up getting a merge for her somewhere. It was on one of the reruns that she was sparkable on.
What she said.
So mine's just +1 into neutral. She still does pretty well though. She works and, well, mostly in light weeks, but I use her sometimes on the offense teams and in some of the other arena modes as well. She does a lot. It's very solid. And has honestly just aged really, really phenomenally well. Like, is one of the units that is still shaping the current meta, even, what, 2 years now almost, after her release? About 1.5 years, I think. A little more. It'll be 2 years early next year though, so yeah, she's been out for a while, and
Ought I be the one?
she's still she's still one of the reasons that we have L9 at all.
Just like Fafnir.
This isn't the sort of defense replay I'm too worried about adjusting defense around, since, well, if you're losing half your team to win the match, that's a loss I'm willing to accept. Yeah, and from here, pot, and closings out. Yeah, oh yeah, no, Hero Fests are easily the best place to really aim for merges, and I think the last Hero Fest that I really went in on was the one with Guinevere on it. And that's where I got mine to +10. Last match of the week here, probably, unless someone queues into me in the next hour or so. Ooh, it's actually fun to see a Brave Marth at reasonably high investment here. He could also end up getting a very wild refine, along with Gatekeeper. I think he's in a better spot by default than Gatekeeper is, but both of them got overshadowed a lot by Erica and who was the last one? Well, that says a lot for whoever the last one is. I don't even remember her. Who was it? I know who it is. It'll come to me. Fjorm Astra is also not something I see very much, but I expect to start seeing a lot more of her after the rerun of the Forging Bonds. The Hall of Forms rerun that she's getting next month, I think. Yeah, this coming Dark Season is going to be very interesting, I think. Marianne, right. Oh, thanks. No. Was it Brave? Yeah, it was Brave Marianne. That's why I don't remember. Oh god, I'm sorry, Marianne. But, yeah, no, it would be Marianne. In that set of 4. And they should, assuming we keep with the pattern, all be getting a refine next year, which feels absolutely crazy. Yeah. There have been a lot of Mariannes used for Unity in my barracks.
Show me your strength.
Yeah, this coming Dark Season is going to be interesting. I'm planning to use Legern again for this coming season, since she's really flexible. Just having that Vantage option with a multi-hit Vantage option is very, very strong, and she works very well with a near save too, or just as a unit in her own right for hit and run. So yeah, defenses, overall I think I'm pretty happy with this. It's unfortunate to see losses, of course, but I don't think any defense is impenetrable these days. I think every defense has weak points, and trying to make a flawless defense probably takes more resources than it's worth. So I'm happy with results like these, and hey, it's still doing pretty well. Now the coming Dark Season is going to be, like I was saying, very interesting. I think that I'm personally hoping to experiment a bit and use, let's see. Let me adjust the units on this team. I would like to get Yune and Embla on my defense. Where is Embla hiding? There she is. And just see how this works out. Yeah, Marianne's actually showed up for me pretty consistently. Not enough to think, well, I might as well plus 10 her, but enough that I've never really been lacking for attack speed Unity fodder, even if I never have quite enough, so it's been alright. So, Embla and Yune, it's, yeah, like you were saying, Sam, Embla, Yune, and Medius feel like a very strong combo on the defense right now. Especially if you can work Embla into a spot where it's hard to save against. Like, she only covers 3 columns, but if you position her properly, that basically takes out any possibility of using saves. And yes, Yune is insanely strong now. Her refine and remix is just, she's a really good unit. I only have her at +1, but I'm okay with that. Minimum investment Yune. She's another unit that's actually very, very good as an option to pull out of Binding Worlds. If you don't have one built or don't have one at all, and can get yourself a fully built Yune. With max Dragonflowers on top of that, it's another one that I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on. So, let's see. Some other common dark staples. Well, we can't neglect Catria. That's, Catria is basically there. She is just you want to have this unit on your dark defense because she just feeds you wins. One thing I actually really would like to try out is going with a double save team. If I can get 2 save armors on this, I think things actually stabilize really, really well. Oh geez, double Embla already? Ew. Ew. Why would people do this? That just, no, that sounds very mean. It's a bit like Double Bramamond, back when Bramamond came out, and I always looked at that and found it both really degenerate and also very silly because I don't think you're going to want to have two Emblas on a team in the long run. Oh, she offers res. Interesting. So this would be speed and res bonuses. Huh. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Yune, get back in here. Right, let's fill it from start to finish here. So, Edelgard would be a great near save to use. She might have some problems with Brave Seliph, but eh. We could also use Summer Edelgard as another harmonic to make sure we shut down Dio skills. Our save options, though. There's Fjorm, but I don't know that Fjorm's the best idea on a defense. She could be really good, honestly. As long as you stop people from engaging on turn 1, I can see this being a thing. This is getting really, really green heavy. Yeah, that seems like a very hard team to tank, and I think that Gale Force and run strategies are going to become very important in Dark Weeks. Because tanking is just going to be really, really rough. I do think that it's worth keeping a slot or two of your offense teams for tanking strategies, just because, well, not everybody is going to have Embla, or put her on their team. And it's good to have the option, even against something like Embla. I do think that Omni-Tanks actually, just scrolling through the barracks again, I think that this guy, in particular, is going to be very, very useful in late seasons, especially into a Yune and Embla setup. You'll probably want a Gatekeeper on the team just to stop Catria from being a thing, but Ike wants to get panicked. He wants debuffs, and he can work very well if he's solo. You probably want to give him some support with a speed tactic, an infantry speed tactic for the null follow-up, possibly also from a fallen minion for breath. That way he keeps basically everything relevant and can just carve his way through an enemy team on his own. He's probably one of the better solo carries to work with, even into an Embla team. So let me think. What kind of far save options would we work with? I could still go with Idun, who is very useful, honestly, especially for that null armor effectiveness. This one, Nagi, is another one. She didn't get her refine yet. I don't expect to see it for another couple of months, but very much looking forward to seeing what she gets. What are the seasons next week, actually? I have forgotten to check. Here. Going to have to head all the way out and check on that. Raiding parties. So we've got water and wind. Ooh. Water and wind, that is an interesting combo. Means Brave Dimitri's back on the table. Or Brave Dimitri, Legendary Dimitri. And I always like having him as an option. So, let me go back over here. Water, wind. We could fit in some legendaries in there. Let me see. Yeah, it's mostly Brave Dimitri. There is some fun nonsense you could potentially pull in wind seasons if you set up your entire team to take advantage of Eliwood. But that feels like it's very hard to pull off. you'd have to have everybody with matching attack stats, and yeah, it can work, but it would take a lot, honestly, to put that together. Legendary Byleth's also someone I've seen a couple of times on defenses, and I think she can work really well during a wind season so that you at least get all of the bonuses rolling. She really messes with Gale Force approaches, since that tempo is not something that most Gale Force teams are equipped to deal with, because they count on that special acceleration a lot, and if they don't have it, suddenly things go very wrong very quickly. Lynn's also someone who's surprisingly strong on a defense. I think I slotted her into a Chaos defense a while back, and she did really well. Yeah, I don't think there are any legendaries I'd want to put on this, though. And if I'm trying to experiment for a longer-term defense, then adding them here wouldn't really be a good idea anyway. So this team would have 2 saves and wants threats. Possibly a dancer. Possibly Medius. Actually, not even possibly, Medius would want to be in here. I wonder how well these two would work on their own as threats. Huh. I mean, I guess we could try it. Oops, nope, nope. Yune, get in there. Veronica's an interesting idea too. I do think she's very strong, and she is in season. The trick is fitting her in. And also at that point it starts becoming, well, do I use Veronica or do I use Ascended Leghorn? Who would be pretty horrifying in this season when she's getting triangle attack like this, so her weapon's always online. And of course you can't save against her, so you better tank her with someone who can handle it. Maybe I do put her on this team. Garnef. I actually love Garnef on defense. There's so many people who just underestimate him or forget about turn 3, or just, yeah, don't actually realize that he's a legitimate threat. His refine's really good. It's fun. Where is Leghorn? There you are. Oh, nope. Embla, get back in there. So a team like this... I wonder how this would work. We probably need Idun on the front-ish area to cover. Embla wants to be in the back, otherwise, yeah, she's not getting triangle attacks, and that's not ideal. Of course, we also want Katria to be hitting everybody. Edelgard only needs to protect the people who are on the front line, so, like, that would work, potentially. No, Idun needs to be covering everything. So from here it's mostly about making sure that attack ranges line up properly. And one of the harder parts of that is going to be that Embla has 3 movement range, so she really needs a team that's built with that in mind. And of course this is very much a preliminary test draft because I don't have a dancer on this team, and without a dancer you are always very vulnerable to hit and run. Different terrain would probably be better. This terrain is actually, I'm probably not on an Embla team, but this terrain is something that's surprised me with how effective it is in light seasons over the last few weeks. Makes it very annoying to actually approach the defense if you stay in this top left corner and just park your fortress in one of these tiles. Since cavalry specifically have a very hard time actually navigating around this, and infantry don't really like it either. Forests are not good to them. Don't know if it would be good with Embla on the team. There's always Lost Castle. Ah, Lost Castle. Let's see, so if we've got like this, the only problem is that Yune has a hard time covering the same threat range unless we back these two up another tile. Put Yune here. I might actually end up switching Katria out. There's a good chance I don't use her. She takes up space, and if I use Summer Edelgard as one of the save options, that keeps the Duo's Hindrance online. It's stuff to think about. I do think that this trio of mythics is very, very strong right now, if you have them all on a team, since it just makes it very hard to survive anything that comes your way. I would probably want to be on this tile, huh? Let's see. Embla needs to be careful with where she is, because she doesn't actually reach this corner tile with her effect, which is also, interestingly, just in range to bait her out from. So yeah, I do think Embla is going to be a tricky person to place properly, since, again, you need to make sure that this tile can't be saved from wherever Embla happens to be. It is the one weak point in her kit, is that while this has a huge range, it's not unlimited. There's actually a very good... Yeah, I'm thinking that this is not the terrain for it, mostly because of that specific feature of her kit. Let's see. Spring Breeze is not really ideal. Ooh, the desert. Actually, the desert's really good for this, isn't it? Potentially. She would have to be here, which... I don't know about that. That's true. You can always do that and make sure that she doesn't move those extra spaces. All she really loses from transforming is 2 extra attack and the movement range, which might be worth sacrificing just to make sure that she doesn't move outside of her own special effect. It's honestly a good idea. Windsweep is fun for her since she actually neutralizes... Oh wait, I said I was about to get ahead of myself. Windsweep might not be the best idea for her, because this is the offensive half of her null follow-up. So if she doesn't have it from that, you probably want to be careful to make sure that she's getting something equivalent in exchange. If she only hits once, I'm not sure how well she'd do, actually. I mean, if you have Katria on the team, there are triangle attacks, so... Stuff to think about. I'm probably just going to not actually finalize a defense here, it's mostly just brainstorming. I do think that Semi, you mentioned a double Embla team. You just park one Embla in the 2nd and 5th columns, and you cover the entire map, and there's no saves available. And from there, you just turn it into a basic cav line. Yeah, honestly, it does sound very spooky. Especially if you've also got notes involved, or Dogger, I guess. It would probably be Duo Dogger. Let's see. Let's get evil with this, and we'll pretend that there's another red beast who's actually an Embla in disguise. Here, Leith, you cosplay. So, if we go that route, what we'd probably do is use a couple of Duo Doggers. Like, if we want the most evil and degenerate options available, this would probably be right around there. Here. Hanoka, you cosplay as Dogger number 2. And terrain, and we want it as open as it gets. Probably Dream Castle. So you would set it up, this would be the core of your team, is just 2 Doggers to give Pathfinder to everybody. And then both Emblas can reach all of the tiles that the other Embla can reach. And from there, you really just want probably something blue or colorless that's very hard to tank, and has the same range as the rest of them. So you're looking at melee cavalry or ranged infantry. You could probably put Celica in there. Or you could... Brave Byleth is another one who's impressed me with how effective she is. You could put Brave Byleth in there, and... maybe a melee cav? Ooh, hold on. Oh, a green melee cav who would be really good. Let's see. Actually, funnily enough, probably Walhart. Where is he? Where is that big guy? So, here if you well, no, Walhart wouldn't be ideal. He actually gets to attack from outside of his effect range in this setup, so not Walhart. Probably Brave Seliph, although that, Brave Seliph would overlap with the Emblas maybe a little more than you'd like. You could go with Erica, though. Erica would be fun. Yeah, and you kind of go with something like this, and from here, everybody has completely overlapping threat ranges. Yeah, and you could just replace one of these with a note, and then you have a blue melee as well. Now, replacing one of these with a note does mean that the note herself is not going to be able to access the same tiles, but that's not a bad thing, because she can just be the 7th unit. So if we do this and grab note right there, and plunk like this, this feels like it would be just so annoying to deal with. So annoying to deal with. I do think that Hit and Run might be able to pick it apart. Especially in Earth Weeks with a Claude, because you don't have a far save to work with. But that's not necessarily the worst thing. Especially, like you said, if you've got a Canto Control note who just shuts down a lot of that on her own. What you could also do, if you're happy with how much threat you have, is plonk a gatekeeper on this team. And just replace this with a ranged cavalry, or 4 ranged cavalry instead. Kinda like that. Hang on. Let's see. So if we replaced Erica with, hypothetically, a ranged cavalry nuke. I don't really have too many of those. Let's just put Happy in there as a stand-in. So, I'm not sure Happy quite reaches all the way over here. Let me think. Because you would want Gatekeeper to be standing somewhere in this area. Oh, what you could do is just have him standing in this corner and kind of block this side off with your fortress to make it harder to get to this one. Air would be annoying, I think. No saves, no stats. Well, no Bolt Tower does require you to add Medius to it. So if you do run the full combo of Medius, Yune, and Embla, and have it in a functioning defense, I do think that's going to be a very, very nasty defense to run into, just because it's so hard to approach it. I love my Kanto Control Gatekeeper, he's so funny. Yeah, I think this actually works out pretty well though. Let's see, let's replace you with Erica again. Yeah, so this probably does the trick. Where everybody has a threat range that goes to here, and not past this fortress. Which is kind of important, since even if people are trying to save in this area, it doesn't matter because you have an Embla covering it, and it also makes it a lot harder to initiate. Oh, and the stream went off again. Hang on. Yep, I'm working on it, sorry. BlueStacks is temperamental. There we go. Should be back. But yeah, so I think if you set up something like this, where you make it hard to approach from the weaker side, and very annoying to actually hit and run with on the other side, there's actually a good chance you could even work a save armor in here instead of Gatekeeper, or instead of one of the other threats. Maybe I do want to go in for another Embla. I actually went and pulled for a second one and turned her into a book before I really thought about it. But maybe we are going to get degenerate with this nonsense. We'll see. We'll see. I don't have as many orbs as I'd like, and I don't know yet if I want to pull on the new banner or not. I probably do, but we'll see. It's gonna be funny though. But the reason I'm using Gatekeeper here and thinking of him instead of a note is because he can use Kanto Control and also block Wings of Mercy. And also shut down Summer Edelgard completely because she can't use Assault Troop to get in range of the front line as long as Gatekeeper is nearby. Which really, really messes with her. Yeah. Some fun and or degenerate ideas for defense. On the offense side of things, I'm not really planning to change too much, I think, from last time. I think it's mostly going to stay the same. I've got a Beast Force team for my Gale Force option. This one probably needs work. I think I had Claude in here last time. This one we're probably going to just have Dimitri with Eliwood as a come and get me option. Probably not with this kit, obviously. He'd be using something more like this. Potentially with breath instead, though. Just to make sure. Out of all of the various effects the Mythics throw at teams these days, Guard is not one of them on Dark. That one would be Arvel, but he's an Anima. So, giving Dimitri breath means he just shuts that down. And gets to soul heal his way through basically the entire enemy team. Depending on the team, obviously. Right, this was my near save version, which I'll probably keep. Maybe giving her a an Iotes, though, in Water Week, because we might see some legendary leafs roaming around. And this would be the Vantage setup. It's a bit trickier, I think, in Light Weeks to set up the Vantage than it is in Astra, since in Astra you have easy access to a full spectrum of buffs thanks to Naga and Elamine, or just Eliwood in general, which frankly we'd probably use him here too. But you also have Thor, who gives us Breath as a mythic without taking up another slot, which really helps a lot over there. I think it's still worth keeping. I don't know if I'm going to use Eliwood or Bernadetta. Bernadetta helps a lot just to get her into that range safely, but last week a lot of what I did with this was just have her attack into whatever far save the defense had, survive and get into vantage range, and then sweep the enemy team. I do think, personally, that Hardy Bearing is a very important skill to have for any defense these days. If you don't have Hardy Bearing on your team, you're asking to get swept by something like Brave Byleth or a Geo Leg Yarn or any of the other strong Vantage sweepers who we've been getting lately. Even Summer Edelgard's very, very good at it. And a neat perk of Summer Edelgard, actually, is that if you use her... Let's see, let's go in here. If you use Edelgard as a Vantage Farsaver, you can actually kind of cheese Embla, because while Embla does stop you from using save on the unit she affects, she does not stop the unit who gets affected from saving other people. So we're actually going to demonstrate this and/or test it, because I haven't actually tested it yet. And I do want to make sure this works, because this is something that I was thinking about and realizing, you know, this could be a very good way to deal with this nonsense. So we'd have a Brazen, probably attack defense, Bonfire, and we're not going to worry about a bonus unit type of thing here. Let's actually go ahead and grab... Where is Lucina? There you are. So Lucina and Bernie. Bernie. There you are. Yeah, so with this involved... Oh, take it back, actually. Lucina, no. We're going to put Eliwood on here instead, since Eliwood would be the better option to have to deal with Yune. Wait, I went right past him twice, didn't I? Yeah, so Adel gets into Vantage and does that. Oh, need to equip Vantage, that would be helpful. Okay, so the idea here is that we're going to have Edelgard saving other people, even if she's affected by Embla herself. And I want to make sure this works, so let's figure out how to make sure it works. Here. I'm just going to lock most of this team behind walls so that they're not being silly about it. So, yeah, from here, Here in the 7th slot, we've got Embla here. Yeah, and Embla hits this area. But if you don't have a team that hits all 6 columns with Embla's debuffs, then suddenly our save can actually work. So we're going to reciprocal you,
I can do it.
get you into vantage range, and then we're just going to plonk... Oh wait, hold on, Embla's going to reach that tile too, isn't she? Okay, we need to adjust a little bit. Probably move note. Wait, no, surrender. There we go. Yep, just move note over. There we go. You're allowed to have 1 Pathfinder, not 2. Oh, and I should... Oh, nope, not the right buttons here. There we go. 1 Pathfinder, not 2 for Embla, and this... Okay, that does reach. Good. Okay, so... One more time. Light Season, over here. So, the idea is that Embla can reach this tile, but that's the only melee, and if somebody is standing next to her, or next to Edelgard, rather, then we're fine.
It will be done.
Now I'm also assuming that Edelgard's actually going to be able to kill Embla in 1 round of combat. That might be a bit much, we'll see.
Maybe this way. Truly?
What's your plan?
Yeah, you are getting the bonus doubler, okay. Alright, we'll see. There's a good chance Embla just ends up killing Edelgard here, but... I don't know. Nope. Okay, so this works out. So yeah, while Edelgard herself is affected by the anti-save debuff, that doesn't stop her from saving other people who aren't hit by it. Which is really, really important, and means that a frontline savior, who is just there to tank everything, like, let's say, a Vantage Farsave Summer Edelgard with Eliwood backup, can still work. You just have to be careful about positioning. That's good to see. It's very good to see. That might actually be a team that I slot in just in case, because I do think that Farsave's still very good to have, and, well, Edelgard does a good job of it. As long as she's not running into sweep effects, she can just clear her way through basically everything on an enemy team. Sweep and Hardy Bearing. Although Hardy Bearing isn't always as bad, since she does get 40% DR, and that can let her survive things that she shouldn't. Yeah. It's fun options, though. I do think that I'm going to have at least 1 Vantage option going into this week. Definitely having one with Lakearn, since, well, she's a bonus unit, and makes team building a little bit easier. Since my Dogger is completely unmerged and would be really, really tragic for my score if I use her. Yeah. It's fun stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing how this week goes. There's a good chance it ends up being really, really rough. But we'll see. We'll see. I think it does depend a lot on how many people start experimenting with Embla right away, and how many people just wait to see what kinds of Embla defenses they encounter, and whether or not they can build them themselves. It'll be interesting, and the week after that is going to be fun too, especially with the new Mythic in the mix. And other than that, I'm also really looking forward to our free 4-star special 5-star that we're going to get from Arena every week going forward. That wasn't something I expected. Actually, I thought it was just going to be a normally summonable banner and standard rates, and you just get free first summon tickets. But no, they're actually just giving us a free 4-star special every week, which not all of them are good. I think there are a lot of duds in that pool, but it's a freebie every week, and honestly, that's really good. It helps you be a little bit more excited to log in to the game every week, because you're like, oh, there's something I might be able to use that I didn't have before. or another merge on a merge project that's been in the been in the tank for a long time. Like Byleth for me, who is at +9 now. Although I think the last merge for her is going to hopefully be coming from a Binding Worlds in the not-so-distant future. Since, yeah, it would also give her a maxed-out Dragonflower count, and since I don't have any Dragonflowers on her yet, and was already hoarding enough to be able to give them to her, it would be very helpful. Looking forward to that. Yeah, Book 7 is going to be fun, I think. There's a lot to look forward to, and I'm hoping that they don't sort of hit the gas pedal on power creep the way they did in Book 5. I think that the new character's ability to lock out a turn is strong, but it has enough conditions attached to it that it's not overwhelming, and you can actually counter it with how you build your defense. Yeah, that's good stuff. It's a fun week of Aether raids, and I'm looking forward to the next one. I am currently planning to make this a regular event on Mondays. I don't know if I'll keep doing it in the afternoons or in the mornings, but at least over the next few weeks I'm probably not going to have as much time to make the normal videos as I usually do. So I'm planning to sort of do this instead, since it takes a lot less time, and at least lets me continue showing my Aether Raids experiences, and poking around in some other modes as well, potentially. So, yeah, outside of that, I think we're about done for today. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in. It's great to see so many people watching along and just enjoying. I'm sorry about the stream cutting out every now and then. Honestly, it's just a BlueStacks thing, and there's not really... I haven't found a way to fix that yet, other than manually trying to correct it. I haven't found a way to prevent it from happening. Also sorry that the first match took so long to figure out. That was a little bit awkward, and the second one got a little bit tricky too. But it's fun, makes me think, and that's a good thing. But yeah, aside of that, feel free to let me know what you've thought of the stream and whether or not you'd like to see more of this going forward past this month in the comments. I do always read them, so yeah, let me know what you think. Outside of that, good luck with your own matches. Good luck with your pulls if you're summoning on any of the banners coming up or that are already out with that legendary banner. And yeah, I will see you all next time.